Okay, Hunter, I got your white chocolate mocha with extra whipped cream. Greg, I got your double shot espresso.
Oh, good. I just need to go back out and pick up some more whiskey.
Are you drunk? I was literally gone for 10 minutes. Seriously?
Karen, go get me the whiskey.
You are aware it's a whole nother year till I can buy that stuff, Hunter.
No. Just go to Canada. Drinking age is a lot lower up there.
You've got to be kidding me. It is a 12-hour drive to Canada, Hunter. Why are you doing this to yourself anyway?
I kind of needed something to keep me from going mad when I found out Asylum made another Titanic movie.
So, what kind of whiskey do you want from Canada?
Knob Creek, please. This video is brought to you by Dungeons & Dorkheads. Stick around afterward for dungeon time. Hello, my name is Hunter, the movie reviewing horse, because when it comes to cinema, humans cannot be trusted. Yeah, I've been drinking coffee for the past half hour. I'm fine now. No, I'm not. That was a lie. I'm not fine. Asylum! It's hard to believe that these guys have only had 3 lawsuits, because between The Day the Earth Stopped, American Battleship, and Lord of the Elves, it's hard to believe that these are the only 3 that people actually tried to sue them over. Seriously, American Battleship? You are aware that regular Battleship wasn't any good, right? They've done that a number of times, actually. They made a movie called 10 Million BC, but 10,000 BC wasn't very good. And 2012 Doomsday is a mockbuster off of 2012. So let's face it, that one wasn't very good either. They've even gone after James Cameron, who we all know is very good at making money, and that's how Titanic 2 ended up being the most watched review on this channel. It's hard to look past just how well that review has done, actually. Every day I come in and you guys are leaving new comments on that video, and, like, apparently you guys still find some of the jokes funny, which a lot of that video hasn't aged well, I'll admit, but you guys are still enjoying it, and I'm very grateful for that. It's the joke about it getting hit on the side, that has hit people particularly hard. Which is good, because I'm very proud of that one. But as much as you guys love that review, I don't want to go through that again. Too bad Asylum had other plans.
What will we do with the drunken whaler? What will we do?
Holy shit, this movie pisses me off. I mean, like, really, this is the first time I've gone to review something, and as the credits were rolling during my first viewing of the movie, I'm tweeting at the production company, telling themselves to go fuck themselves. This movie is dangerously predictable, it's agonizingly slow, it's fascinatingly unentertaining to the point where I fall asleep, and for a movie that is condemning people profiting off of the Titanic disaster, what are you doing with your movie? And for some reason that I can't fathom, they called it Titanic 3 in this movie. Why? Titanic 2 came out in 2010. It's been 12 years. Why? Why would you do this? Why would you make that connection, Shane Van Dyke? Or Nick Lyon? This movie doesn't even have the same director, but they called it Titanic 3 anyway. It's all just in really bad taste. I, for one, think that I'm right there with you. It's been 112 years. Like, I think the statute of limitations is up on feeling sorry for the victims of the Titanic. But when literally the main plot of your movie is someone comes on and is like, stop profiting off the Titanic disaster, then you need to replace the captain of your brain ship because he's drunk at the wheel. They figure, hey, it's been exactly 110 years. This is a perfect excuse to fuck with the movie reviewing horse again. He's a horse now? Huh, weird. Didn't even have that "hello, my name is Hunter" opening bit when I reviewed the first one. Or the second one, in this case. Titanic 2. So, in the interest of getting this over with, let's suffer through Titanic 666. Spoiler alert, it has surprisingly little to do with Satan. So as our film about the Titanic opens up, we begin with, fittingly, the Titanic sinking and people falling off the boat. This opening scene is actually something that I would describe as fine, oddly enough. The effects are okay, the set looks alright, the costuming is actually okay, spoiler alert, the ship sinks. The focus, for whatever reason, is on the captain's daughter, I think this is? I'm not entirely sure. We're focusing on this girl. Or at least we would be if Asylum would get their shit together. They want you to focus on the opening credits, they really do, but glaring flaw here. How come the boat didn't get split in half? No, seriously, look, it's the entire ship on the bottom of the ocean as we go over to the new one. What? How did you forget that incredibly important detail? Every survivor of the Titanic said the ship split in half. We have pictures of the rear half of the ship, but I have submechanophobia, so we're not gonna look at those for too long. This isn't an isolated incident either. There was another movie called Raise the Titanic, which was about Cold War missiles or some shit, where they also forgot that the ship split in half. But that movie came out in 1980, before Ballard even found the wreck, so I guess they have an excuse. Oh, by the way, that girl we were focusing on, yeah, she gets jump scared by some dude with a hat. Kinda indicating that it took a meager 12 seconds for the ship to become haunted. And then we jump cut to the far-off distant future of 110 years later, where they have computers that don't take up an entire room, helicopters, and these people.
Hi, guys. Oh my god, look at this ship. Incredible.
Good time of your life.
Okay, it's gonna be the time of my life. Ah!
Hey, what's up, guys? How we doing?
Social media influencers. They actually use the word influencers in this movie, by the way. So, the bad news is, these are real characters in this movie. The good news is, they are the first to die. Oh, but enough about that. It's time to meet the crew of this ship. All 7 of them. Including this knockoff Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, apparently, who's here to provide security. Apparently we need a security firm on this boat. Also, yes, that is the front facade of the Queen Mary because they're using the Queen Mary again. Because the Queen Mary can't get anything going for it because all it can afford to do now is be in these shitty movies. It's enough to make you wonder how that boat hasn't sank yet. It's been 12 years since the last movie and she has seen better days. By the way, not a single mention as to why the ship is called Titanic 3, not 2. Not even mentioning the old one, not even referencing anything that happened in that movie. No, seriously, it says it right there, Titanic 3. They're not even trying to hide it.
Titanic 3. This is Titanic 3.
But what about Titanic 2? You know what? Fine. Whatever. See what's going on. Another big cover-up? Yeah, sure. Just sweep it under the carpet. I suppose we'll just forget about the 800-mile-an-hour tsunami that destroyed everything as well.
To the best crew on the Atlantic. We are in open water.
Yeah, okay, we're in open water. Something ships do hundreds of times a day. That's it, best crew on the Atlantic. We then cut to luggage, which is somewhere. I don't know why it's here, but somewhere out there, someone is looking for their lost bags. But no, apparently we have a stowaway because the TSA gave up on x-raying all of your baggage. It's because of jackasses like this that we can't take Axe cologne on an airplane anymore. This lovely character is, let's call her Lisa. The movie never makes the effort to actually give us her name, and honestly, if it did, I can't be obligated to care. I hate everyone in this movie. And from the looks of it, she's hanging out in the abandoned warehouse, which is the only place this movie could afford to shoot. Meanwhile, on the 3D recreation of the Titanic, we unfortunately find out that these two are still alive. Unfortunately for them, they're useless. And this is an asylum movie. Just a little bit of patience.
On behalf of the White Star Lines, we'd like to welcome you aboard this maiden voyage of Titanic 3.
Yes, and this is the cruise director. She's not important either. In fact, if we know cruise director, she's the most annoying person on the ship. We also get this 3D shot of the grand staircase, which is the only thing that's even remotely reminiscent of Titanic interiors in this entire movie. We can only have it on screen for half a second, though, because we have to go back to the creepy girl, Lisa, and she's fondling with a violin, and then this guy comes in and he goes, which is my impression of him. This Walter Peck from Ghostbusters looking guy is Professor Cochrane. Don't bother laughing at the name. It's certainly not funny by the 500th time you hear it. He's a collector of Titanic artifacts because, of course, he is. I don't know who's bankrolling the guy, though. Like, in order to be a collector of Titanic artifacts, you gotta get a boat, and then you gotta go out into the middle of the ocean, and then you gotta get a submarine to go down there and get the things. And I'll bet you're at like $1 million for the expenses at this point. And it is for these reasons that he hates everybody, especially influencers. And it's for these reasons that he might actually be my favorite character in this movie. God damn it, and we're supposed to hate him, but I actually kind of like him. Oh, by the way, Lisa kind of makes off with the... What is that, a pair of scissors? A hairpin? I don't know, something. Either way, she steals it. I don't know if that's going to be important later. And then we cut to our two influencers in a hallway looking for their cabin. Okay. Do these two actually do anything interesting with their careers? The last influencer that I glanced at was recreating Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. What are these two doing? I'm not just saying influencers for shits and giggles, by the way. They use that word.
We know that some of you are influencers.
But are they? Are they influencers? Are they really? Because comparing these two to influencers is like comparing me to a goddamn content creator. It just feels wrong. Anyway, they get jump scared in the hallway by our Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson knockoff. You know, because it's a horror movie. We have to throw in a few fake jump scares in a dark hallway. I don't know why the hallway is dark. Because the Queen Mary can't afford to keep the lights on anymore. And then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson gives them directions to their cabin. Which we will never see, by the way. In fact, thinking about it, this whole scene is utterly meaningless. And then Professor Cochrane over here is like, look at this ring that I have on my finger. I stole it from the original Titanic. And this is the definitely real ring from the captain of Titanic. And I am willing to sell you this ring for the low, low price of $15 million, because that's probably what it costs to dredge it up from the wreck site. Seriously, Titanic artifacts are like 99% in museums. They're not really something that you go around collecting. Having this whole subplot with Professor Cockeater trying to, sell artifacts from the Titanic, it just feels weird. I mean, could you really see someone auctioning off the big piece? I mean, come on. Cut to later that night where Lisa is down in the hole doing something. It's kind of implied here that this is the great-granddaughter of Captain Smith, and I did have to go to Wikipedia to look up the fact that Smith did, in fact, have kids.
Bring forth the spirits of the deep, hear my words. Hear me speak.
I remember seeing something like this once. It was a pretty unknown title called Every Cheesy Horror Movie Ever.
Oh, hey, Karen, I thought you went to Canada.
If I did, it would be to get far away from this movie.
Meanwhile, everyone who doesn't shop at Hot Topic is all having a party, including the captain who's trying to get there. And these two, who are apparently very, very, very lost. Like, why? Why would you come to the engine room? Why would anyone come down here? Why are you even allowed down here? But the writers figure, hey, since they're down here for seemingly no reason whatsoever, let's have them stumble across Lisa, who is currently doing, I don't know, incest, some pagan shit, drinking blood out of a human skull in the glorious name of Satan. Okay, well, she's not doing that, but she probably should, because the movie's called Titanic 666, and it has surprisingly little to do with Satan. Honestly, I think they wanted this movie to be called Ghosts of the Abyss, but James Cameron already took that title for, coincidentally, another Titanic movie, but that one was a documentary. Anyway, remember the hairpin or whatever that she stole earlier? Well, apparently it's sharp enough to make her hand bleed, even though it doesn't look sharp in the slightest. And I just named her Lisa so that I could make a "you're tearing me apart" Lisa joke, but I can see that she's already doing that to herself. That or she's just smearing ketchup all over these nice little pictures here, hoping that the ghosts won't be able to tell the difference. And then Nancy, which is this character's name, shows up, and it's right around now that I realize this is a very long scene. We don't even get to see ghosts in this scene. We just get to see her smear ketchup all over her face.
Come forth and hear me!
I don't know what we're yelling about! And then things start shaking, and ooh, it's... Why isn't it shaking here, though? Are there just only specific parts of the ship that are shaking? How structurally stable is this boat? And apparently they're having electrical problems too, because the lights start flickering, the Wi-Fi stops working, because, you know, people from the 1910s definitely know to turn off the Wi-Fi. That'll get them. No, seriously, they would have to know, because the first thing they actually do is shut off the Wi-Fi so that they can't call for help or something. Why would the ghosts even know what Wi-Fi is? Also, these three seem pretty okay with the fact that they just watched a person cut their hand open and carry out a pagan ritual. But before I can question why everybody's so chipper, we run into Professor Cockeater over here. And because these influencers are bumping into him again, he's all... because he thinks social media influencers are fake, and so should you. Seeking to add these two to his I ruined an entire generation of teenage boys' starter pack. He's all like, you people are scum! You're worthless, spineless, rotten to the core! I hate you! If I ever see you again after this voyage is over, I will literally strangle you! Which is entirely not how he talks, but you get the picture.
We have reached our final destination point, where over 100 years ago, we lost 1,517 souls.
Actually, I don't think we have an exact death counter, so, you know what, I'm not even gonna bother.
To honor this moment and those people, please join us in a moment of silence.
Oh, you mean the movie's actually gonna shut up for a minute? Oh, thank God. Meanwhile, down in the hole, Lisa's eyesight is going bad, and also, someone turns a fan on. And then we're back to the party upstairs. Man, it's taking a while to summon those ghosts. Finally, after about an eternity of consulting a Ouija board, dipping a skull in salt water, eating the hair of the last Titanic survivor, drawing 15 pentagrams with drawings of the ship, and offering up her soul with a pair of chopsticks while stirring a pot of beans, we finally get our first ghost, who is generic Captain. Guy looks nothing like the photographs of Captain Smith. I don't know who this is. Let's just hope she does us all a favor and does not accidentally summon the rapping dog.
Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time. Everybody's feeling fine. Stop!
But no, the first thing they do, the first fucking thing is ghostly hand-holding. Still somehow just as lewd as it is in real life. And then we cut to up on deck because these quote-unquote influencers are apparently just teleporting all around the ship. First they're in the cargo hold, then they're in, I don't know, some promenade, then they're in the dining hall, and then there's a ghost. Now they're on the deck of the ship with the ghost.
Wait. Do you hear that? Do you hear that, babe? Listen, the music.
Naturally, it's time to start dancing for some reason. Even though everything is about to go to shit. Yes, certainly. That is definitely enough to make my ears bleed.
Want to hear the most annoying sound in the world?
And then we have the most spastic death scene for this influencer guy. This violin dude, he's spastic. Stop! Just drag him off into the fog and be done with it. Holy crack-smoking Jesus. If all of the death scenes are going to be this sporadic, that is the scariest part of this movie. Naturally, because these two are involved, Cocklicker isn't far behind, and he comes in and starts going, and then leaves. Just in time for her to also get murdered. Which begs the question, why didn't you just kill both of them at the same time? It's not a very efficient haunting, is it? It's gonna take us a while to get rid of a ship full of people. Oh, but enough about that. Let's look at this lifeboat hanging in the ballroom over a whole load of people.
Terrifying.
You're not gonna actually show us this unless you're gonna use it to kill people, alright? I know what's going on. And we soon discover that not only is this haunting inefficient, it's also inconsistent because the guy didn't leave a corpse. Why did she leave a corpse? But before we even deal with that, the captain has to go up to the bridge because the computers are doing a thing.
How long's this been happening?
I don't know. This is just one of those computer displays where they put a bunch of nonsense on the screen and they hope that you don't know what they are. It is put computery stuff on the computer screens. It's okay. The audience is too stupid to question it and know what's going on. It's ooh, computers, look at this graph.
Look at this graph!
And now we have to drag the captain over here because it's just one problem after another. And then, because this movie has no direction anymore, we get the only engineer, I think, on this entire ship. And then there are these two. They're here to kill him in the most spastic way possible. Just any way to upset the video editor for this movie. Still, though, if they take out the engineer on this ship, they won't be able to do engineering things. And that's so stupid, his head explodes. Yep, yes, that's it. No one can run the fucking engine now because that was the only engineer on this entire boat. Meanwhile, the rest of the crew is watching TikTok. Or watching back the footage from the death scene. One or the other. Neither of them would surprise me, honestly. And they kind of piece together that Professor Cockgargler is the murderer because... Cockgargler in video. He must be the murderer.
Wait, so Cochran left.
Or, apparently, you can plainly see that he left and did not commit this murder. Regardless of the next scene, we're grabbing him as a murder suspect for various reasons, and of course, Cockmuncher doesn't like this at all, to which he says, oh, but oh no! They were seen earlier that night, in the hallway! He must be the murderer. The case they have against this guy is about as watertight as the original Titanic. But like, the wreck at the bottom of the ocean.
Shut up. I thought she was coming down on me for something I sold. Not this. This is crazy. To be accused of murder. Murder!
Relax. I will get you out, okay?
Wait. These two are in cahoots with one another? Why? For what purpose? What does this add to the plot in any way whatsoever? It'd be like if Hayden Walsh and Captain of Titanic 2 were secretly selling snickerdoodles as a side hustle. It doesn't add anything in the same way that an 800-mile-an-hour tsunami does, or, you know, a haunted bitch in the basement that's making the ship haunted. What purpose could this possibly serve to drive the plot forward? Anyway, Lisa has tapped into the spirit realm, and for some reason, because of that, she can now move the ship forward. And they're like, oh, but the propellers aren't moving, even though they clearly are moving, and the captain's pissed off, and I'm pissed off, and everyone's afraid that they're gonna hit an iceberg, which, by the way, are fucking everywhere. Listen, guys, I don't know how common you think icebergs actually are, but they don't appear in these giant fields like this. In fact, I would be surprised if they appeared this far south at all. Haven't you ever heard of global warming? And then the old lady, she sees a ghost. And then the ghost kills her. For some reason, why'd you gotta do that to an old lady? She didn't do nothing. It's not like you need that necklace. You're dead. So it's Captain and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson down in the engine room going, oh, what fresh hell is this decapitation? Why couldn't Asylum give us a normal cruise for once? Just a normal cruise, you know, where nobody dies and everybody has a nice time?
Why isn't it possible? It's just not. Why not, you stupid bastard?
So they gotta turn this wheel, or the engine will explode. Unfortunately, it's impossible to turn the wheel. Which begs the question, why do they keep building the ship like this? Alright, you did something similar in the last movie and a door killed a person. But since these ships are designed by utter incompetence alone, the engine explodes. Again. For the second ship in a row. You know what the definition of insanity is? It's trying the same thing again and again and again, expecting something different to happen. How many times are we gonna watch the engine explode on the Titanic until you put in systems to make sure that doesn't happen? Oh, and we see that lifeboat again. It's shaking this time. I'm telling you, they're gonna use this to crush a lot of people. Just give it time.
Impossible. The systems are state-of-the-art. They don't overheat.
Hector, this has nothing to do with state-of-the-art.
Buck is dead, and there should be 15 other engineers down there, and there were none.
Oh, okay, I see how it is. Fuck you, it's our movie, you don't get logic. Also, we left all the engineers back at port. Yeah, we'll get them on Titanic 4, fucking 30 years from now.
Mayday, Mayday, this is Titanic 3. We've had an engine room explosion and are adrift. Does anyone copy? Over.
Titanic 3, this is the SS Hindsight. Are you seriously sinking another one, you guys? Seriously? Seriously? How many Titanic replicas are gonna have to sink in order for you to get the picture that, you know, maybe you shouldn't be allowed to build ships anymore? Wait, let me guess. The engine exploded. No, wait. You didn't anticipate being hit from the side. Again. Because you're stupid. And furthermore, I will be lodging a formal complaint with the Motion Picture Association. Meanwhile, while everyone on the bridge is being yelled at, Cockeater over here hasn't eaten a single cock in the past 10 minutes, and now he's going insane. And then this water starts leaking in, even though I think we're above the water line, and then the lights stop working for no adequately explained reason other than, ooh, the ship's haunted. He gets tied to the bunks in here, and another spooky ghost shows up. I'm guessing this is kinkier ghost than usual. Anyway, we jump cut away from that scene, increasing the tension of the story, and now we're back on the bridge again. You know that water is supposed to go on the outside of the boat, right? That, like, do you understand that? Where everyone is still being yelled at over the radio.
Do you see that? That light? It's a ghost.
No. It's just a lens flare. We've seen this
No,
before.
it's a ghost. Look.
Ah, well, there's only 30 minutes of film left. It's about time somebody threw out the ghost theory. Meanwhile, everyone is panicking, so everyone is ordered back to their cabins. And just to make our haunting even more inconsistent, Cockbiter is still alive. Him and his fake Scottish accent.
I don't know what kind of trip this is, but that was horrifying.
Okay, Professor Cochran, calm down.
You know,
okay?
I could have been killed. You assholes locked me in a tin box to rot with a goddamn corpse.
For the record, I'm not entirely sure why they brought him to the bridge first, because all he's here to do is complain. This scene doesn't really add much.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Captain Rhodes of Titanic 3.
This is Captain Rhodes of Titanic 3.
Wait, hold up. Is there someone on this bridge who's captain of the next ship over?
Nice callback. Seriously, why did you word it like that? Speaking of people who don't need to be in certain places, Lisa is on the stairs. And she has a smug monologue. And it's the kind of smug monologue that they put in all of these movies that just make you hate this character and you just want to punch them, but they're special and they set fires everywhere or something. So anyway, it turns out Lisa is really, really creepy and yelling at everybody, so they throw her in the brig for a while. Meanwhile, back up on the bridge, I'm wondering how many times they're gonna pick up these damn radios before they realize, oh, none of these are fucking working! You know, except that one radio. Titanic 1, Titanic 2, Titanic 3, Titanic 4, back at it again! Titanic 5, you don't even launch Titanic 5. It sinks in the harbor. And Titanic 6, in space. And Titanic 7, that's the virtual Titanic. That's the one you make out of NFTs. Even if they were good NFTs, people would hate it. But they're not even mediocre. Congratulations, Asylum. You made NFTs! Meanwhile, Cockstealer and this one security guard, who I don't even think we got his name, meet a ghost in the hallway. And for some reason, this guy seems to be the only one surviving these ghost attacks. Either because, I don't know, they want him to die last, or because he's smarter than everybody else. Things ain't going much better down in the brig either, as Captain Ghosts McGee shows up. So they shoot that guy, but he's a ghost, so the bullet bounces back at like a 90-degree angle. Yeah, because that's how bullet physics work. They can definitely bounce back off a straight wall.
Titanic's 43, 44, and 45 are all made of cardboard because you're out of money at this point. Titanic 46, that's just Titanic coin, the fake cryptocurrency you came up with. Because you're out of money at this point. You gotta run a crypto scam. And no, I don't care if the power's out. The radio's still on.
Meanwhile, while the bridge crew is still trying to figure out their haunted radio, which is still yelling at them, Cock Gargler over here is having a Tanica pack. And the camera is kind of shifting in and out of focus. So someone please fire the cameraman, he's drunk! Meanwhile, Lisa makes her way to the bridge. Our knockoff Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson survives being strangled, I guess. That other guy who got shot? Yeah, he's kind of okay, I guess. However, this is an asylum movie and he's hopelessly useless, and we never bothered to learn his name. So he immediately gets eaten by a ghost.
800 Titanics after the... Oh, Lisa's here, by the way.
Seemingly, she's only come up here to be Queen Bitch. Also to force choke the captain a little bit. And she starts taking over all the computers on the ship, even though everything here runs on Windows 11. And I'm pretty sure ghosts from 1912... I think ghosts from 1912 are gonna struggle with DOS, let alone a modern operating system.
Captain of the ship. I don't know what you're doing or what you think you are doing, but this is wrong. Captain to captain, you cannot do this. You cannot scuttle the ship.
You are tearing me apart, Lisa!
Actually, she's tearing herself apart because she slits her own throat with that hairpin from earlier. Of a bitch!
Are they sinking another one?
Yes!
Welp, saw that coming from 800 miles away.
Wasn't carried by an 800-mile-an-hour tsunami either. This one's just pathetic. And to make matters worse, it crushed all the lifeboats on the starboard side, all the boats on deck are fake, and they only anticipated a head-on collision. They didn't anticipate being hit from... Oh no, wait. All the lifeboats actually work on this one. Okay, so you got that right at least. Oh, hey, and remember the influencer lady from way, way earlier in the movie? Yeah, she's a ghost now, because that's how that works. And for some reason, she has mind control powers that allow her to make this man shoot himself in the face. And then he becomes a ghost, because for some reason, that's how that works. And for some reason, he really hates this lady in particular. Even though there were like 800 people in that shot.
Called it.
The evacuation ain't going much better either. Despite the fact that this is supposed to be a safer ship, at least 800 people end up in the water. This is the most disorganized evacuation I've ever seen. And as far as I can tell, the captain is the only one telling people what to do. Well, you can't blame her. She's trying to get things under control. Could be worse. You could have had the guy who was captaining the Costa Concordia. So the ship sinks, rather abruptly, I might add. Like, seriously, we see the bridge go down, and then the back of the ship. That's the shot. Man, James Cameron spent an entire half of the movie focusing on the sinking. And then we have Professor Cocktickler alone in a lifeboat. Oh, but at least he's later joined by the captain, who, let's face it, was probably the most innocent person in this entire movie. No word on how all the other survivors are doing, by the way. We only see these two. So as far as I can tell, these are the only two survivors of Titanic 3. Which means there is one more survivor than the last one. Yeah, definitely a safer ship. Definitely. We've gone from a 99.9% mortality rate to a 99.8% mortality rate. So says the bastards who are gonna build Titanic 4. And 5. And 6 and 7 and 8. Oh no, wait, no, 7 is the NFT one. Oh, but hold the phone. Cocklicker just dies. Like, he's just dead now. He was alive one moment, and then the writer said, nope, he's dead. What the fuck? Or maybe it was just so we could have this stupid-ass jump scare right at the end of the fucking movie. Seriously? That's how you're gonna end this shit show? With not a single survivor and a shitty jump scare? What a cop-out! This is why I told Asylum to go fuck themselves while the cameras were rolling. That's Titanic 666. I hate it, and I hope you did too. It does not take a genius to see why I hate this boring, unimaginative, tropey, and extremely predictable movie. The whole thing falls apart towards the end. It's unenjoyable all throughout. The characters are annoying. And for a movie about condemning the marketing of the Titanic disaster, you made a movie about it. You are literally part of the problem. I, for one, say it's been 110 years, so go ahead and build your Titanic 2s and 3s and 4s. But how many wrecks of the same ship do we need at the bottom of the ocean before somebody gets the picture? The only positives I can say about this movie is that the interiors actually look good. Like, they actually filmed in some of the more prominent locations on the Queen Mary for this. And also, the 3D animation is marginally better than Titanic 2, but these are both still incredibly bad movies, so that's not saying much. My advice is that you should steer far away from this movie, like icebergs in the ocean, because apparently they're the most deadly thing out there, and I absolutely hate it. Let's just all collectively hope that whoever is building these ships finally gets the idea. Let's not fuck with Titanic anymore, because it always, always, always goes wrong. My name is Hunter, and I hear Canada is really nice this time of year.
Wait, are we really going to Canada?
Come on, you're driving. Hey guys, thanks for watching Titanic 666. Hope you enjoyed it, because it was actually a lot of fun to make this one. It's been a long time in the making. Anyway, if you guys want to see something that wasn't a total disaster, why not check out Dungeons and Dorkheads, even though we ram an airship into a building in literally the first episode, but looking past that part. This is our new show taking the channel by storm. Join us in our adventures across the land of Adia, a world of our own design, with some amazing party members like Nicholas, the bookish elf, Demare, a furry tiefling with a gun, Dante, aka Fishman McHotbod, Sandra, the adorable little dealer girl whose arm might be on fire, and Zach, the clown with unlimited knowledge about literally everything, but his mind breaks whenever he tries to think about it. Join us in our Dungeon Master, the Grand Weaver, as we prepare to take on the city of Orzur. And that episode is coming out this Friday, so tune in for that. All other episodes are available in the playlist below, and be sure to check out all the other people in the description of each episode, because we worked super hard on this show, and so did they. And once again, I would like to thank everybody for watching the review. I'm still on vacation, but once I'm back, I'm gonna get right back to work to getting this monthly review stuff sorted out. Here's some credits, and yeah. Don't build another Titanic. Please.
Well, just leave your troubles at the door, leave your worries behind, leave the rest up to me, you're gonna like what you find. I'll be busting the moves and I'll be busting the rhymes, we'll be busting up laughing cause it's party time. Party time, it's party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, everybody's feeling fine cause it's party time. Party time, everybody's...
Now, let's talk Andrea Doria 2.
Come forth!